All right, online learning is a growing trend in South Africa, but cost and infrastructure limits accessibility. Now, the Human Rights Commission and UCT are working on speeding up access. This will be especially beneficial for young girls in rural areas. The first phase will focus on communities in Durban. To tell us more, I'm joined by the CEO of the Imbeleko Foundation, Sbu Miyeni. Thank you very much for your time, ma'am, here on ENCA and on NewsLink. So, firstly, tell me about the initiative and how it came about.
So we as Imbeleko Foundation were actually encouraged by the Human Rights Commission's plight to ensure that every child in South Africa has a good quality basic education. And then that coupled with UCT's new online high school and also their mission to ensure that every child, irrespective of their circumstances, is able to choose a school of their choice. So we approached UCT Online School wanting to work with them to ensure that rural kids in our community were able to access the school.
So the pilot phase is at the Valley of 1,000 Hills, right? What
Yes.
prompted that decision to go there in particular? And of course, why the girl child? I mean, I'm obviously in support of that, but I want you to tell us why.
So we have been running as an organization that promotes education support for rural children in this community for the past 10 years. So we've taken vulnerable but talented kids, in the beginning, kids that were orphaned and being raised by grandparents, and over time, children that are raised by single mothers. 80% of the children we work with are raised by single mothers earning minimum wage or not working at all. So we started an after-school program that augments school, especially with COVID over the past 18 months. Our schools are quite filled up. So you find that in a classroom, there's 100 kids. So during lockdown, our kids have been attending school only once a week. So it was really important that we find solutions to ensure that our kids get quality education. And over the past 10 years, we have track record that shows that our programs really work, and our kids have gone from rural schools into universities across the country and internationally. So yes, we are the perfect partner to provide all the support in terms of social cycle, our space. We have recently finished an after-school academy where kids can come. So we have the environment to ensure that we support parents in their kids being able to learn, and it's an effective environment for online schooling.
And this is important.
And the girl child.
Yes.
Yes, a girl child. You know, what's interesting is by default, we work with 13 partner schools in the community. And the girls are more eager to learn. They are desperate for quality education. They're desperate to make something of themselves. Our kids, I mean, this particular cohort, we opened it up to boys and girls, but only 14 qualified and 13 of them are girls. So besides all the other issues that we're trying to address for women in terms of, looking at gender-based violence and a lot of things where we need to support and empower women, girls are just more eager and desperate for opportunities, and it was important that we targeted girls for this initiative.